Coming just days after Beijing officially launched its yuan-denominated crude oil futures, we now see that they are expected to quickly become the third global benchmark price, and this is right up there with the Brent and the WTI. China is sliding into that third position and growing quickly. Now, China took the first steps to paying for crude oil imports in its own currency instead of U.S. dollars. They have this pilot program for the yuan payment system that could roll out for the second half of this year. And this is the route that China's taking. According to the proposed plan, Beijing would start with purchases from Russia and Angola, two nations which, like China, are keen to break the dollar's global dominance. Now, when you look at this, it says that these two are two of the top suppliers of crude oil to China, along with Saudi Arabia. This same Saudi Arabia that we just sold a ton of weapons to. It says a change in default crude oil transaction currency, which for decades has been the petrodollar, blessing the U.S. with the global reserve currency status. This would have monumental consequences for capital allocations and trade flows, not to mention geopolitics. A shift in just a small part of the global oil trade into the yuan is potentially huge. Oil is the world's most traded commodity, with an annual trade value of around $14 million. Currently, when you look at all the crude oil trading virtually in dollars, there's barely 1% being traded in other currencies. And this is the basis of U.S. dominance in the world economy. For those that don't see it. So China's taking huge steps here. Any other country has ever made moves like this, we've gone to war with them. You've seen what happened to Gaddafi and others. What's the closest thing Trump could do? Well, he came out, shot across the bow, and he said, "You've been stealing from us for decades." Intellectual property rights, which is huge, saying that they've been scamming and copycatting all kinds of things that we've made, from cartoons to electronics. They make their own version behind the Chinese firewall over there and sell it to the masses, and that is what Trump meant by they are stealing our intellectual property rights. And that's true. It is very true. Let's not forget, though, that China is also, of all the countries out there, the biggest consuming our debt. How do we get into this situation? Your politicians. They have sold us out, in my opinion. And things are only going to continue down this path because this is where they're taking it. Nonetheless, this is some of the latest here in terms of what's going on with China here on this world stage, this unprecedented move to shift things into a direction that they like. And as they mentioned down here, the danger, of course, is that a shift would also boost the value of the yuan. Now, it just spent 2.5 years strengthening, but still, in light of the global economic stability, Beijing may be willing to take a stronger gamble on their currency if this is the one shot that they've got. So, I'm going to leave a link. I'll continue to update with more as I come across more. This has been Dabu7. Eyes open.